Hey, Donovan here. Thank you so much for checking out my channel. As anyone who has been keeping up with my channel has probably figured out, spaces for recording are not very available to me, so I'm trying this out. And what better way to record than to have the movie that did not win Best Picture in the background. But of course, I also have the movie that did win Best Picture. Just bought it yesterday. So the 2016 Oscar season ended with one of the biggest upsets in the history of the ceremony. And of course, I'm not talking about the mix-up itself. That of course involved Barry Jenkins' coming-of-age black queer drama Moonlight beating out Damien Chazelle's nomination record-tying musical throwback to the old films of Hollywood, La La Land. And this renders almost every Oscar stat useless, except for maybe that one about the Screen Actors Guild nomination for Ensemble. Well, with that season just behind us, let us look to the season ahead. And of course, the season won't really kick off until the film festivals in Telluride, Toronto, and Venice shuffle through the contenders and would-bes. So we have, give or take, 7 months until we really have any clear idea of what may happen at the Academy Awards. But that isn't stopping me and a lot of other people from predicting this far too early. I mean, what's the fun and logic with this stuff, right? So over the next few days, I'm going to be running through my Oscar predictions for the top 8 categories. And today I'll begin with Best Actress in a Supporting Role. I'm only listing films that have been confirmed for stateside distribution and seem more or less set to debut before the end of the year. Behold, the 5 women who will probably not end up with Best Supporting Actress nominations. Number 5. Melissa Leo for Novitiate. Now, this film played at Sundance, it got great reviews there. So Leo in this film plays the Reverend Mother, and the performance has been compared to J.K. Simmons' turn in Whiplash, which of course won the Academy Award. If that comparison holds up, that means that it's the big showy type of performance that Oscar tends to go for, especially in the supporting categories. Sony Pictures Classics has this one. Now, I was not a huge fan of Simmons' work in Whiplash just because I thought it was a little too broad, but with the supporting categories, that doesn't really hurt. In fact, if anything, it helps. And let's not forget, Leo won an Oscar for a very broad performance, and she was nominated against her more subtle and arguably better co-star. Number 4. Allison Williams for Get Out. No, I actually said that. For anyone who's seen Jordan Peele's masterful incendiary horror flick, and I imagine that's most of y'all watching, you'll probably know why I think this can happen. Her performance here is something that you would not ever expect. And that's as much as I'm going to say about the performance itself. I mean, I even recorded a video about how and why Get Out could be an Oscar contender by year's end. And unlike other people on this list and most Oscar prognostication lists, we already know that this performance works, and we already know that the film is a strong one. And that will be its undoing in awards season unless Universal really pushes the film. Number 3. Mary J. Blige for Mudbound. There is no questioning Blige's status as the queen of hip-hop soul. But I have seen her in Tyler Perry's I Can Do Bad All By Myself, and Adam Shankman's Rock of Ages. Put her on the mic, and her powerfully raw and unpolished vocal style helps her illuminate the screen. But you give her some lines of dialogue, But I guess her talent has evolved somewhat between then and her work on Dee Reese Mudbound. The drama about racism and post-World War II life garnered incredible notices at Sundance earlier this year, not the least of which was for Blige's performance. Of course, we have seen Oscar embrace singers turned actors before. Now, Netflix snagged the rights for this one, so the possibility of Mudbound becoming a big Oscar contender more or less depends on whether the streaming giant learned its lesson from 2015's Beasts of No Nation. Number 2. Julianne Moore for Wonderstruck. Remember when Todd Haynes' Carol won all the Oscars back in 2015? Yes, that is exactly what happened, and do not tell me otherwise, damn it. Okay, so back to Wonderstruck. This dual narrative period pick sounds a little bit like Hugo, which is of course Martin Scorsese's 2010 effort, A Kid-Friendly Ode to the Birth of Cinema. That film rather infamously led the Oscar nominations that year with 11 bids overall, and won the most prizes, taking home 5. But that was a Marty pick, and Oscar's relationship with Haynes seems strained, to say the least. But even if the Motion Picture Academy by and large gives him the cold shoulder, each of his films since 2002's Far From Heaven has scored at least 1 acting nomination. I figure if nothing else, Haynes' fave, and now Oscar winner, Julianne Moore, can probably get a nomination for her dual role here. Number 1. Michelle Pfeiffer for Mother. The comeback of Pfeiffer is upon us. I hardly expected this to happen anytime soon, if ever, but my god, she is back. She's front and center in Andrew Dussaulmo's Where's Kira, and also features in the ensemble of Kenneth Branagh's Murder on the Orient Express remake. But her Oscar ticket may come with Mother. Mother! Mother! I don't know how the inflection with the exclamation point is supposed to go in that particular regard. Anyway, Pfeiffer may win that Oscar after all for Darren Aronofsky's drama about a couple's bond possibly breaking once some unexpected house guests arrive. Based on what I have read and the casting, it seems like Pfeiffer is playing the mother of Jennifer Lawrence's character. And again, the exclamation mark at the end of the film's title is a little curious. But if Aronofsky can drag Natalie Portman to a win for a somewhat campy horror film about a delusional ballerina, I imagine he can do similar things for Pfeiffer with this film. Even if this ends up being a huge disappointment as it pertains to Oscar season, at least Darren Aronofsky seems to be back to his smaller scale, character-driven roots, as opposed to whatever Noah was. So, going in alphabetical order, my picks for Best Supporting Actress are Mary J. Blige for Mudbound, Melissa Leo for Novitiate, Julianne Moore for Wonderstruck, Michelle Pfeiffer for Mother, and Allison Williams for Get Out. Of course, this is just how I feel about the supporting actress race that hasn't actually begun at this point, and it's a lot more fun when people actually have conversations about who they think will and won't get nominated. Especially at this point, because we can all look back and laugh at ourselves. So feel free to leave a comment about what you think is going to happen with supporting actress, or if you think my picks are good, if you think they're bad, if you think Get Out will not end up being an awards contender. So thank you so much for watching. Go ahead and hit that like button if you like this video. This channel is still growing, so I'm not going for too many likes with this video. I'm just thinking maybe 10. And of course, subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more content from me. Thanks again, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye!